The Four Magazine, Detroit, baby, we out here. You see what's going on, we activated, we ain't playing no games.
Welcome to another episode of Interviews with the Foreign Magazine. And today,
Yes.
we got a special guest, man. Somebody that's been in this music shit for a long time. Not only been in the music industry of Detroit for a long time, but also been in them circles. Some of those circles that y'all look up to. We got none other than Tiffany Blade in the building. What's going on?
What's the deal? My pleasure.
How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm blessed. I'm covered. I'm protected.
100.
I'm rich. So yeah.
100. In terms of the vibes of the day, you know what I mean? And just, I know as we was talking before, you know, we got on camera, you was just talking about traveling a lot and how you always, you know, in motion and just try to stay busy.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about it.
It's more doing than showing. You know what I'm saying? Only you know what you do. You know what I'm saying? Only, you know, people can see so much, you know, and then just because people don't see everything you're doing don't mean you're not moving. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to stay consistent within your happiness. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm going to always make music. You know what I'm saying? I always made music. I'm going to always make music. That's just what I love to do. So it's just about moving around and just growing as an artist, just learning, you know, meeting other people that make music, you know, getting better at the craft. You know what I'm saying? You can always be better, you know, so you learn that when you move around.
No, 100%, 100%. Sure, and then the inspiration hit different too.
Oh, yeah.
Because you got a different scenery.
Yeah.
You can talk about different experiences and different things. So for sure.
Yeah.
If you can, talk a little bit about the beginning of your music journey. What got you into the music?
So I wrote my first rap when I was 10. I was the only child. I always had a lot to say. You know what I'm saying? I always had a lot to say. You know what I'm saying? So I like to express myself without being interrupted, without somebody, you know, it was more of a free, non-controlling thing that I was able to keep up on. You know what I'm saying? And I just started writing and, you know, just started freestyling. A lot of my family rap besides what everybody, you know, I mean, everybody in my family make music. From, you know, from my great-grandfather as a pianist to I got people in my family that play instruments. I got a lot of cousins that rap, sing. So I just come from a musical background, mother's side and father's side.
No, that's dope.
You know, so it's always been around, and being the only girl that really did it and did it serious, you always would be challenged and you always would be tested. And you know what I'm saying? So it just, in the end, it just made me better. You know, I just stuck with it. You know what I'm saying? And it just kept developing. So I've been doing it for a really, really long time. You know, doing it forever. You know, that's how I go.
As you was coming up and kind of like developing your sound, like who was some of the people that you was really keying on that helped you develop it?
Oh man, Brat. I love Brat. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like the biggest Brat fan. You know what I'm saying? Because I love the fact that she was different, she was dope, and she was her. You know, and it wasn't about none of that. You know, it was about, damn, she really fire. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's what it really need to be about. That's why it's so much loose shit around here, because niggas is not focusing on what we really came for. You know what I'm saying? We need to be able to hear the music before we see the artist. You know what I'm saying? You know, like niggas is looking at the artist before they hear the music. Like I need to know before I even know if she got a fat ass. If this shit hard, it's a win. You know?
Facts.
But yeah, Brat, MC Light, Queen Latifah, like I'm a real MC rap type of female rapper. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, a lot of influences. Mia X, Shauna, you know what I'm saying, from DTP.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of real.
I was gonna say Mia X too. I said you done came in bandana, you know, she was,
Mia.
you know.
I love Mia.
I
definitely think I'm a No Limit soldier in my head.
For real. That influence and that wave though was crazy too at that time. Like even in Detroit, like you know, a lot of Detroiters kind of developed. I mean, we always had our style, but that wave, that shit did it.
Even Detroit female raps like Boss, Redbone, you know what I'm saying? Corey Blake, you know what I'm saying? Like really, you know, Lola Damone, like, you know what I'm saying? Like real female rappers, you know what I'm saying? Like Bossalini, like real female rappers that really put this shit out, you know what I'm saying? And was doing this shit without all of this cheat code shit that they got now, so.
When you say cheat code shit, what is it?
I mean, some people will call it working smarter and not harder, but you know, we used to have to press CDs, do flyers, do footworks, do open mics, do showcases. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no paying to play. You know what I'm saying? It was, nigga, you know, you couldn't just be like, spend my shit. let me get an interview. You know, now it's like, if you got it, we got it, you know, but it was a little bit more authentic then. You know what I'm saying? It was like, no, nigga, you really got to be fired. You know, so now it's just, you know, it's more entertainment than talent, but you know, it'll come back around in full circle.
So early on in your career, you know, you had the opportunity to be on Blade's Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Yep.
First and foremost, talk a little bit about your relationship and how did that whole thing come about?
Okay, so Blade is my uncle. He's my mother's little brother, on her dad's side. And he was just like Uncle Darnell. You know what I'm saying? He that uncle that come over that's silly and goofy as hell that's gonna always give you $200-$300 for no reason. You know what I'm saying? And you know, the Lindsays, we were really close when I was growing up. Really, really close. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got keys to down there, everybody's house. Niggas pulling up, walking in. You know, it was just normal to just, if we riding by, we stopping by. You know, that's kind of how our unit was. And, you know, we was just always close and tight. You know what I'm saying? Because I was always with my grandparents and my granddaddy, and he was always around him. You know, I just was always the girl that wasn't supposed to be where everybody was at. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, go home, you know? But I was always hanging because I was always hanging. So, you know, we just end up merging. I didn't even really know he was rapping because it wasn't none of my business. You know, he was just my uncle. You know, he that uncle that you see when you see your uncle. You don't know what your uncle do when you don't see him. You know what I'm saying? And then as time went by and everything, I think I found the Rollies on TikTok CD on the floor. I was cleaning up the crib or something. And I asked my mom, I'm like, what's this? And she was like, oh yeah, that's your Uncle Darnell and that's his rap group. And you should listen to it. It's nice. And you know, and then I was like, oh, okay, this is dope. You know, but I had been writing and just doing my own thing, whether it was poetry, just writing. You know what I'm saying? I always just was writing. I ain't started recording until I was probably about 12, 13. You know what I'm saying? But I was always writing. You know? So
like even early on, like in terms of the lifestyle, was the lifestyle really what people identify his lifestyle as?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I kind of feel sorry for my younger cousins and everybody younger in the family because they kind of, you know, they hear it, but they still get it, but they didn't get it like we got it. Yeah, we were a very fortunate family, but we were fortunate because we were smart. My family was businessmen, businesswomen. You know what I'm saying? We owned everything. We invested. You know what I'm saying? And you know, everybody's educated. You know what I'm saying? You know, so. So
yeah, you said they missed out on a lot of that. Yeah,
a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We were a very fortunate family, but it wasn't no silver spoon shit. You know what I'm saying? Our people didn't play. You know
a lot of people say that though, like in terms of like, you know, like, oh, it was silver spoon. His pops already had the motion, but is that considered silver spoon?
No, because your parents are supposed to take care of you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, do white people do it? White people will let their motherfucking family and they son, his wife, their kids stay all in the house. Everybody 40, 50. You know what I'm saying? It's a different situation. You know, when that's what your parents are supposed to do. They're supposed to create a foundation and a legacy for you to carry on. That's why we got motherfuckers like the Rothschilds. That's why we got motherfuckers like all these rich motherfucking bloodlines that's running the world. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what you're supposed to do. So I don't necessarily think it's silver spoon. I think it's silver spoon when you take the opportunity and you don't maximize it. When you don't put in the work, when you don't put in the effort, when you don't take, you know what I'm saying? If I give you a bowl and a spoon and some milk and some cereal and you can't put it together, then yeah, that is some silver spoon shit. Cause now you just not doing nothing.
I'm just completely carrying you.
Exactly.
Because even with Blade, like he still had to carve a name for himself. There's so many people who family members, you know, whether it be played in the NBA, but they don't never live up to be they pops. You know what I mean? They do all they don't never live up. So he still had to put that legwork in on his own. And
you still always got to find your own lane no matter what branch you come from. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to grow your own roots. You know what I'm saying? I can only be Lady Blade, but you got to be like, yeah, that's Lady Blade, but Tiffany? You know what I'm saying? Tiffany got, she just so happened to be dude niece, but she, her own, you know what I'm saying? So people got to learn how to just stay in their own element. You know what I'm saying?
Is that why you changed the name? Because initially it was Lady Blade.
I just wanted to be a little more personal. You know what I'm saying? Lady Blade came from the Street Lords. My original rap name was T313. That was just like my rap name that I came up with.
Who gave you the name Lady Blade?
Street Lords.
Oh, collectively?
Once me and Blade did My Music, because if you look at the credits if you look at the original credits on My Music, it say featuring T313. He say it on there, T313 at the end of the song. So it's like, once they heard it, they was like, oh, okay, you know, and they gave it and we ran with it and it stuck and the city ran with it. So it's kind of like Notorious Big, Biggie Smalls. You know what I'm saying? He gonna always be Biggie Smalls, but legally Notorious Big. You know, so legally it's Tiffany Blade.
So did you actually like see those, you know, those crazy sessions with Blade, Jesse, just all of the guys, like, you feel me?
I wasn't necessarily around in a lot of their group sessions, but I did see a lot of sessions with just Blade himself. Like I seen a lot of sessions with him working on Blood, Sweat, and Tears. You know what I'm saying? He recorded at the studio out in Canton. Used to be called MPA Studios. And he used to go out there and he was like really, really working and like focused in. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really around when they would come and lay their verses, but then I had opportunities to work with them solo, you know, because I got songs with all of them too. And, you know, so I've been able to experience working with them, but to actually like see them all in, because I don't really think that they would record like that. Most of the time, from my knowledge, is this is what AK would tell me. And, you know, AK did all his beats. But AK said Blade would already had the songs. And, you know, the Lords would just come in and just lay verses on it. You know what I'm saying? And they would, you know.
No, 100,
You know,
100.
put it together like that.
You know, Blood, Sweat, and Tears for me is hands down my favorite project. And I think for me is he was going through a lot. So, you know, with the other projects, it was, you know, getting money, doing this thing, you know what I mean, balling, the lifestyle. But with that, it was a lot going on, and of course, it was still to get money. You know, it was just more to talk about. So for me, that was my favorite in particular.
I remember him telling me, he was like, I can either make an album all about getting shot, or I can put all my emotion into one song and make a dog ass album about everything else. I remember him telling me that specifically. You know what I'm saying? So that was his mindset. You know, I know everybody expecting for me to just go crazy in every single song but why? When I got so much other shit as an artist that I can show. You know what I'm saying? And once I channel it in this song, I got it out. It's done.
Real
You
talk.
know what I'm saying? So yeah.
A lot of people, I'm gonna keep it real with you. A lot of that wasn't really done back then. So, like, not to even, you know, it's been years past, but I ain't gonna lie, Blade probably was the first drill rapper.
He was the first to do a lot of stuff.
Because think about it, though, like, who was really talking like that and really being, like, back then, especially in Detroit, like, who was, since, I mean, you know, you see what's going on in Chicago, but around that time, when you think about that song, you know?
Yeah.
So not the Harbor there. That's just to make that one point.
Yeah.
So going forward, you know what I mean? You know, as time go on and now just to be personal about your artistry and what you know what I mean, got going on and do. At what point did you feel like you really had your sound, and then leading up to like where you at right now? Like, what's your mindset? What space are you in musically?
I don't think you can ever reach your epitome. You know what I'm saying? I think you constantly growing, you constantly evolving. So me, I'm just going with the flow of the times. You know, a good artist know how to just keep it moving and just go with everything. You know, and I ask artists that are more successful than me that all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't change the times, you just go with it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to continue to just develop the sound and get as best as possible. I'm working on the craft every day like it's my first time with the mic in my hand. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, shit, I can't tell you if I got my sound yet. I'm still, you know what I'm saying? We still trying shit. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the core of who I am as an artist, I definitely know that, and I think I went through that by just staying like more true to myself. You know what I'm saying? Taking a step back from being a rapper, you know what I'm saying, and figuring out who I was, you know what I'm saying, and now I know who I am, I know how I want to move forward and how I want to go with things, and that shows with the music. You know
100%, 100%.
Yeah.
Projects, singles, or anything like that?
Oh, we got all the projects. We got both of the Fuck a Deal joints. Fuck a Deal 1, Fuck a Deal 2. We got the Breakfast at Tiffany's joint, and I just dropped a 7-album. I guess you could say it's kind of a love project. It's called Love Jones. It's strictly just like real, like like soft rap songs, you know what I'm saying? Like for the chicks, you know what I'm saying? Because I want to be able to show that side too, you know what I'm saying? That we, you know, because if the ladies love it, everybody love it.
Real talk.
So, you know, I'm like, damn, I got so many songs, you know, that I ain't even put out because, you know, everybody's so used to me wanting to go hard. You know what I'm saying? So
No,
like,
you
damn.
definitely one of them for
Yeah,
sure. Where
yeah,
it's like,
like,
oh,
you know,
you about to come, you feel
yeah,
me? Bite
yeah,
somebody's
yeah.
ear off, you feel me?
So I'm like, you know, let's put some of this shit out. So it just, like I said, it's just showing another side of me. It's just showing, pushing the sound, pushing the growth and all of that. But yeah, and we still working. We got Breakfast at Tiffany's 2 dropping, you know what I'm saying, in a few months. And, you know, we just dropping content and we just, you know, still going.
In terms of that love, Jones, man, it's just a question that I gotta ask because the people may know, man. What is the love like for you, like these days? Like, you feel me? Like, what we doing, Tiff? Or you don't want to get in trouble?
No, hey, look, I'm the boss around this motherfucker. I don't get in trouble for nothing. Don't nobody run me. No, let me shut up before I do get in trouble. Nah, I'm off the market. You know what I'm saying? I'm off the market. I have a very, very amazing, special person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Very dope. Helps me grow, challenges me, gets on my nerves, pisses me off. You know, the shit that they're supposed to do when it's time, you know, for you to get there, though. So, you know, so I'm real happy in that space. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, you know, and that just came from me not chasing but working on me and just letting it attract. You know, people, y'all gotta understand that the more you work on yourself, the more everything else will follow you. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to meet the right person and you can't even be happy because you ain't got your shit together. Get your shit together fully. Once the universe see that you ready, it will bring you everything. You know what I'm saying? But if you keep asking me for $1 million and you ain't got a plan with the $1 million, well, I'm going to give it to you. You know what I'm saying? You have to be ready for these things. So, you know, as time goes on, everything will come to you, you know. So she, you know, popped up at the right time. I was working on myself, you know, and I'm like, okay, we in alignment. You know, yeah.
Oh, that's 100.
Yeah.
That's some free game too.
Yeah.
Make sure y'all soak that up, man.
Yeah.
Self-improvement.
Man.
You gotta work on self. So often, man, we be so busy trying to get other people to change when energy can actually shift people. So it's like, if I'm getting myself together, it's either two things that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
If we right here and I'm getting myself together, we building a gap.
Yeah. Or we growing together.
Or we growing together.
Yep,
you get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's like that's what it is. In terms of features or anybody that you looking to work with, you plan on working with, or is all of this really just dolo?
Man, I would look forward to working on anybody who really care about their craft. You know, anybody who really love what they do, you know what I'm saying? Cause that's really what it's about. I ain't never ever been one of them popularity motherfuckers. And if I wanted to be, I really could be. If I wanted to be one of those, don't you know who I am, where I've been? I just think that's trash. You know what I'm saying? You let your real bosses don't talk. You know, we let our actions speak. You know what I'm saying? You got to command a room without even saying nothing when you walk in there. You know, so, but anybody that want to rock, as far as industry people, you know, I want to work with Missy. I want to work with Brad. I want to work with Queen Latifah. I want to work with everybody who has maintained longevity for 20 years without going broke and being on drugs. You feel me? And it's only like 10, 15 real artists. So I want to work with everybody that can show me how to be like that 20 years from now.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. Well, I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm definitely wishing you the best. You get what I'm saying? Definitely gonna be looking out for everything that you got coming. If you can, let the people know where to find you at on social media.
Everything Tiffany Blade. YouTube Tiffany Blade, Instagram Tiffany Blade, TikTok Tiffany Blade, everything Tiffany Blade. You know what I'm saying? And we not gonna stop. Icewood Entertainment. It's the loyalty. You know what I'm saying? So it's forever. You feel me?
That's
Blade
what it
said
is. That's what it is. Blade said what up.
Always.
Well, I definitely appreciate you.
Yes,
you feel me?
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
And till next time, man, y'all make sure y'all tap in. Tiffany Blade, the Foreign Magazine, Pulse of the Culture.
Yes, yes.
Let's get it.
Yeah.